right, welcome back to Driven Daily, guys. We're trying a new series now. We're calling it Drivers Meeting, where we meet up with other drivers from disciplines that aren't just hill climb and talk about what different motorsport activities are available to anybody who wants to drive. So today, why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
I'm Dave Dennis, third generation racer. I've been driving myself for more than 10 years now in all sorts of various activities.
You might remember David from the Mount Burke hill climb, where Mike got to ride along with him in the dark. I think they were both passengers at that point.
My name's Dan. I've been in a couple different motorsports for somewhere around 10 years. Autocross and done a little bit of rallycross and stuff, but I'm pretty much just in the cars and follow along. I'll do pretty much anything.
So where are you guys headed today?
We are on our way to Dalton, New Hampshire. We're heading up to Team O'Neill Rally School. There's a rally sprint there tomorrow, which is a one-day mini stage rally, essentially.
So what's your tow rig look like?
Today we don't have one. We've got my STI loaded up with all of the gear we need for the event, and we're hoping that we don't need to call in a tow for the ride home.
So that's one of the interesting things about rally and rallycross and rally sprints is the cars pretty much all have to be street legal, right?
Yeah, so for rallycross it doesn't necessarily need to be, but rally sprint and stage rally, car has to be fully road legal because there's transits. So you have a special stage, which is the timed portion of the event. That's where you're actually racing. But because the stages aren't all right next to each other, you need to be able to drive on public roads in between, and that's called transiting. So your transit stages are actually on public roads, so the car needs to be street legal.
And you can't trailer through those transits, or
not? It's been done occasionally when the rules are fuzzy in that area, but
okay.
But no, generally it's not really feasible to trailer in between.
So where does a rally sprint fall in the world of motorsports?
So I would say it's somewhere along the lines of time attack. If you were saying rallycross is sort of equal to autocross. Time attack on pavement, you're at the point where you're racing competitively on a track, but it's not on par of wheel to wheel.
Yeah, there's no door to door.
Right, and so not that stage rally is door to door, but I think that's the stepping order. So it's it's a step down from a full stage rally. It's only a single day, usually a single day event. You run the same course. I think we're running 3 different stages tomorrow, and we'll run each one 3 or 4 times, hopefully.
How long are the stages?
At Team O'Neill, they're usually 3 to 5 miles, which is a little longer than a hill climb.
Yep.
Most hill climbs.
Yeah.
The transits are pretty short too.
Is it pretty much just looping back around?
Yeah, you loop back around. You go on a public road and loop back around, but it's maybe 10 minutes. There are some transits on like New England Forest Rally that are an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So you end up really far from home in rally sprint. Like you have a base camp, you don't have to move your stuff. You end up looping back around past your service area after every run.
So what happens if your car breaks during a transit or leading up to a transit? Can you work on it?
The driver and co-driver can. You can, and this goes for rally sprint, stage rally, everything. The driver and co-driver can do whatever on the car. The parts that you use have to be in the car before it breaks. So you can't have your crew guy come bring you a control arm and fix it on the side of the road. But if you have a spare control arm, you can go right ahead and swap it out.
If somebody were to decide, I want to get into rally or rally sprints, where do they start? What kind of prep do they have to do? What kind of car do they need?
My first piece of advice would be to go get some seat time at a rallycross, because stage rally and rally sprint, it's not like any other motorsport.
Yep.
The car control on dirt this weekend it's a winter rally sprint, so I think they said they've got like a 4-inch ice base with a little bit of snow on top. So you definitely need the seat time before you go jump in a car and try to do 80 miles an hour through the woods. So rallycross first. Team O'Neill is actually like I said, it's a rally school. So that would be a great place to start. Go take a class with them. If you're in other parts of the country, there's a few others. Dirtfish Rally School, Rally Ready, I think, in Texas.
And most of those provide the car, pretty much everything you need other than what you're wearing.
Yeah, if you do a school, that's pretty much arrive and drive. You'll have everything you need. The rally sprint, we actually the main difference between a rally sprint and a full stage rally is really just the amount of seat time you're doing. Because, in order to get to a rally sprint, you still have to have the full safety gear. We're wearing full suits, fireproof gloves, shoes. You have to have a Hans device and a helmet. So, rallycross is a good stepping stone. You can show up with any street car, whatever you want. You need a helmet that's within spec, and that's it.
And that's SA spec?
Yeah, SA, I think 2005 is as old as they go right now.
Okay.
No, 2010. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I would think it was 2010.
Yeah.
Check with your local Saint
Yeah,
absolutely.
The other thing you're gonna need, like rallycross, you can go do by yourself. But if you're doing a rally sprint or a stage rally, you need a buddy.
Yeah.
So you gotta find someone that's gonna ride in the car with you and preferably knows what's going on.
So I'll say, I've been in the passenger seat on a few runs of a few different drivers, and it's horrifying. It's not. I'm perfectly comfortable doing pretty much anything in the driver's seat, but you put me in the passenger seat, especially with a piece of paper and some responsibility, I lose my shit.
Don't look out the window.
It's also
just look at the notes.
the co-driver will also get blamed for anything that goes wrong. It's always the co-driver's fault.
And anything that goes right is the driver's fault.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
They get all the credit anyway. Yeah, I had already been doing rallycross and hill climb at this point, but I co-drove for 2 years before I ever got in the driver's seat, and I think that actually helped me a lot. Certainly don't have to do that, but it's a big help to know what's going on, especially if you're the first time you drive and your co-driver hasn't done it before.
Yeah.
Because I kind of already knew, how everything was going to work, so I didn't have to stress as much about actually just making it to the stage on time and everything. I could concentrate more on driving.
Yeah.
So co-driving,
I couldn't imagine trying to be a co-driver for the first time with a driver who had never been in the position before, because it's not what you see like in videos. There's a lot more to it. Like doing the stage is probably the easiest part.
Yeah.
okay.
Just
the logistics around
keeping
it.
the logistics of leaving the stage, getting to the next stage on time, and doing all the background stuff is a lot harder than just the videos you see on YouTube of people going through the woods.
Right.
Yeah.
And
So-
the SCCA, the Rally Sprint program is actually really good in New England region especially. The organizers are really good at making sure that all of those aspects are involved with the Rally Sprint, so that you're not only getting seat time in the car and getting used to driving on these surfaces in these situations. We also have actual time cards like you would have at a stage rally, and your transits, and you get to check in on the right minute and everything. So it's really helpful if you're looking to get into stage rally to do a sprint.
So it is like a condensed stage where
It's
you get
exactly
to do all the same logistics,
Yeah,
build those
and-
same skills.
The focus is not 100% on getting through the stage as fast as you can. It's a lot more, skills building for the entire thing.
So I know at some rally events you have to write notes, and at some you don't. So what's your experience been as far as when you need to and when you don't, and do you have any tips for writing notes?
I have only written notes personally for the hill climbs. I ran the rally class at the hill climbs, and that was, kind of just to have the co-driver have something to do, because at the hill climb you're running the same course 10 times over the course of a weekend.
Yep.
By the third time through, you kind of know where you're going. The co-driver's
That's
just
a good weekend.
balanced.
10 times?
But So you know, the notes recce is what they call your first pass through at, you know, normal you know, driving speeds, not race speeds, and that's when you go, and if you have to write your own notes, that's when you would write them.
Yep.
A lot of times you'll get 1 pass recce or 2 pass recce. If you're writing your own notes, I don't think I would want to do it without at least 2 passes, just because you go through once, you write your notes, second time through you can kind of check and make sure, oh, that turn wasn't really a 3, it was a 4, or you know, so that you can double check yourself, because you know, you do with rally rely on the notes. It's telling you what's coming up, and so if those aren't pretty accurate, you could get yourself in a little bit of a mess.
And there are some situations where the notes will get changed during recce. Like, he'll want to make the corner tighter in the notes, so when I'm reading it, he knows to slow down, or he'll put more cautions in, or we'll have his own modifications. I don't care what I read. Like, it's for him. Like, he's got to hear what he needs to hear to do it. So it's really him making sure that what he's seeing and what he knows the car can do line up with what's on the paper.
It's exactly like reading a children's book. None of it makes any sense.
Yeah.
But as long as that guy likes it,
Yeah, as long as he knows what's going on, that's all that matters.
So if you were a brand new driver, you're interested but you've never done any kind of competitive driving before, where would you start? Have no gear, have no car.
If you're looking to get into rally, just show up to any event. You know, if you want to enter, if you want to drive, go to a rallycross. But as far as just, you know, figuring out what you want to do, go to a rallycross, go to a rally sprint, go to a stage rally, and volunteer. Honestly, is the best way to meet people. You'll get an idea for how the event works.
Yep.
And I mean, I think this goes for any racing, you know, anything you want to do, go volunteer at an event, figure out how it works, and
make those connections.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
The opportunity will
and then you'll kind of figure out where you want to move forward after that.
Cool. So I'm going to let you guys get off to the rally sprint. Good luck.
Thanks.
And if you get any footage, let us know, and we'll link to it at the end of this video.
Sure.
All right, cool.
Okay.
We've got 2 tires in here. We got our tarp that you have to put under the car. You got an air mattress, 2 jack stands. We got the other 2 spare tires in the back seat. Well, the back seat would be 2 toolboxes. You can fit a lot in an STI with a cage. I don't think anything's gonna fall out.
Should have seen him after breakfast.
Oh man, yeah, that was rough. Alright guys, have fun. See ya.
Alright, brakes. Gas. Super late, but we made it.